amazing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with the way you're going, it'll probably be like 3 months, to be honest.
What about
But
you guys? Do you guys have a operator in there right now?
we do. Yeah. Her name's Bernadette. She is incredible. I actually just called her a little bit ago because we are JVing on a deal from another source that I found a buyer for that we're trying to get all the P's and Q's in order, so that way we can get this thing to the closing table. We've had her for what, like 3 months now, Paul, right?
Yeah, 2 or 3 months. We were fortunate enough to get matched during the owners club and top tier TC.
That's what I was going to ask if you found her through that. That's awesome.
Yeah, Paul was in there putting his blink, like, let's go, let's get these meetings going. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, it's crazy, Lauren, because when we were talking to all these people and making these connections and networking with these operators, like there were some high level people in there that they were just like, they're on paper, they're the perfect operator. Like they could come in and with a snap of their fingers, all of your problems are done. But they were very standoffish. They were very condescending when they spoke. It's just like, I feel like the most important aspect of an operator has to be the relationship. Like, do you guys get along? Are you able to just have conversations without hurting people's feelings? And so, dude, if I could give you any advice in that process, like just go with somebody who's obviously qualified, but work with somebody that you really vibe with, like somebody that you love talking to. It's like that old friend, right? That you haven't spoken to in a million years. You call them and it's like just picking back up right where you guys left off. That's how it should be every time.
Yeah, that's awesome. I really love to hear that. So, with that being on my next thing to do, I am also in the middle of a business acquisition with a partner of mine.
That's awesome.
And we've kind of we're sitting down now and we're kind of determining like which parts of the business will be more me, which will be more him, and who will kind of, we'll do things together, but that way we can kind of divide and conquer. And I decided to take over like team management just because a lot of my background is in project management and team management with my dad's business. And that was my biggest thing, is like, you have to have a good work environment with, I want them to respect me as somebody that, that I guess I am their boss, but I want it to more so be like, we can have a conversation and you can come to me with a problem, even though you're an employee, and I can respectfully go, oh, you know what, that's a great idea. And there's no condescending each other or anything just because of a position. So that's really great that you said that.
Yeah, it really kind of changed the way we look at everything, because she does our TC work, she does our operations, but she's even setting up our, yeah. So she's a killer. She's looking for one more team, so after looking for that operator,
Yeah, I'm reaching out to you guys.
we can put in good words for you. But yeah, it's really cool what she's able to do for us. We can get back to the deals and calling and making sure that we get a good operating process for our team. So that way it kind of just works for itself. Basically like not AI, but like close to it. So yeah, you trust me, it'll change the whole way you operate once you get that operator. And she's only part-time for us too.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, it might be sooner than I thought. I might be sending you guys a text after this.
Yeah, please do. And then you're gonna send me another text about that deal I sent you.
Yeah, exactly. I know that's on my calendar for today.
Let's go. I'm on the calendar. Yes.
Yeah. That's something that I feel like a lot of people don't realize. Like you can hire somebody part-time, they can be fractional in your business, and it's a lot easier than you think, right? Like some people are like, oh man, I have to go out, make all these ridiculous ads on Monster and, jobs.com and Indeed and LinkedIn. It's like, well, no, like you can, you can very easily just find somebody in your community that's already doing it, get a recommendation from somebody that's already working with them. And that way, there's a pretty good chance that what you're going to get is what you want. So yeah, do the part-time.
Well, and going back to what you were saying, you just have to have those conversations, like this conversation right here, right? I would have never known that you guys had one and she's possibly looking for another, company to jump on with. It's put it out there, have those conversations, even if it is a year down the road. Because something that you may perceive as a year down the road, somebody may have the puzzle piece to where, it's 3 months or 6 months, or maybe right now, it just, I think mindset is a lot of it. And that's a lot of why Owners Club has been so awesome is I would have never sat down and thought like, oh, I can hire an operator within my business in the next couple months, or even now, even doing what I'm doing. It just seems, to Lauryn 6 months ago, it would have seemed like such a crazy thing. And to see all of us, how much we've all grown since we've joined has been mind blowing.
Yeah. Yeah, we did this podcast 6 months ago. It would have been pretty rough, I can tell you that much right now. But what would you say has been like the biggest thing from Owners Club and obviously Gator that you learned and you implement all the time that has changed everything for you?
Gosh, that's a good one. So it sounds so cliche to say mindset, but
it's real though.
And I say it, I think on every podcast that I do, it's mindset is everything. Because it shifts your perspective of like, oh, I can't do that to how do I do that? And that for me has been, because I would say that I've always been a positive person. I've always been a person that's, looks at things and is pretty like glass half full. But things that just seem so far-fetched, again, like hiring an operator and actually building a business. Like when I got into Gator, funny story, I was in Africa on a safari.
Nice.
Wow. So I love to travel. That's my thing outside of real estate is travel, animals, and fitness. So I'm out traveling and we're going from one city to the next on a bus. So we're a couple hours in and I'm just scrolling through YouTube. Had never heard of Pace Morby, had never heard of creative finance. And I'm just in there, my brain's turning. I'm like, how can I, make more money to where when I am out on these things, I'm still making money. I've always been somebody that likes to work as long as I like what I'm doing. But like, I shouldn't stop making money just because I'm out having fun for 2 weeks. And stumbled into Pace Morby, and he was hosting a Gator call like the next day, signed up, and I was signed up for Gator before I even left Africa.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, so it's a pretty cool story. But to watch how my life changed from then, that was August of 23 to now, is crazy to me. Like I owned real estate at that point, but I kind of just thought like buying real estate, letting it sit, buying the next one was the only way to do it. And realizing that, you can get into a sub-2 deal with none of your own money, or you can, like for me right now, you can buy a business with zero money. Like I'm buying a business that's going to make me a couple $1,000s extra a month in cash flow with no money out of my pocket.
Can we get a W in the chat for Lauryn real quick?
Like that's
amazing.
Lauryn, even Lauryn now, I'm still like, wow, that's pretty crazy. But to think that, I could buy another business in a couple months with no money, that it just, again, it's mindset. It's how do you do it rather than there's no way, I can't do that, or seeing people that are doing it and going, oh, they're just lucky. They were born in it, or, just shifting that mindset. And then what happens is you start to make connections with people, and then it building blocks.